Hey, what's up guys? This is me, Nisi of Spoil Me Nisi, back with another video. So yeah, I took some time off from making videos, just kind of getting some ideas together for what directions I want to go to with my channel. So I am back, a lot of ideas, more things to come, God willing. So I'm happy to be back and let's get into this video. So today I wanted to talk about my 2 cents and my guess about Decision Day for Married at First Sight. Episode 16 premiered last night, and everything pretty much came to a head on last night's episode. Now I know in previous videos that I've done, I have expressed that I didn't like Chris and Paige, which I don't like their relationship. I'm still not sure why they appeared. I couldn't wait for them to just be off the show. But I've kind of missed them over the last couple of weeks, because without Chris and Paige, the show has been a snooze fest. It has. All the other couples, in my opinion, are horrible matches, and they're very boring. I've even fallen asleep on some of the episodes over the last couple of weeks. And they're so long and drug out. Like, some of the details in some of the episodes, it's like, geez Louise, they could have left some of this stuff out of the episodes and just bring us the Decision Day sooner. But to my dismay, and to thousands of people's dismay, the decision episode isn't coming out for another 2 weeks. They're skipping next week. Why they're doing that, I don't know, but it's awful because we've been patiently waiting, sitting through all these boring episodes just to find out that they're not premiering the episode that we've all been waiting for another 14 days. And I guess it is what it is, but I look forward to it. Now, the coming attractions for the Decision Day episode look very juicy, especially for Chris and Paige. They do kind of make it seem as though there's hope for Chris and Paige and that they may decide to stay married to each other. Me personally, I feel like anything is possible, even after everything that happened during the season with Chris and Paige. Paige does seem like a very forgiving person. She did consummate her marriage with Chris, and she did take the whole process very seriously. So personally, I feel that even though, all of this, bad history has happened during this season, I feel like if Chris is actually sorry, there might be a place in Paige's heart that might forgive him. I think she probably would forgive him. Who knows? But I don't know. I don't know if maybe the show just used editing to make it seem that way, just to keep us interested, but I don't know. God willing, we'll find out then, right? All in all, though, I do hope that Chris and Paige don't leave the show with animosity towards each other, because I do think that Paige is a good person. At least she seems like one. And I think that Chris has the potential to be a good person. So these are real people's lives, right? It's a show, but it's real people's lives. So I do hope they leave from this learning something and not hating each other. So let's get into Brenda and Vincent, the most adored couple on the season. These two seem to have had the most perfect relationship, but this last episode shows that, it may not be as perfect as it seems. These two are very different. He's very sensitive, but he's also, an alpha male, and Brianna's an alpha female. She takes charge, and she is as bossy as her family said that she was. And Vincent has a problem with that, and she has a problem that he has a problem with that. It's almost as though neither one of them can kind of win in that scenario. She criticizes him a lot. He goes with the flow of things. He likes to take charge as a man. She likes to take charge as a woman. It doesn't work for him. It doesn't work for her. That doesn't work for him. I'm confusing myself. But either way, these are just things about their personalities that don't mix. But the conclusion of these two, of their relationship in this past episode, is that she's a boss. She's She accepts that that's part of her personality, and she doesn't have any plans on being anything less than a bossy woman, I guess, or the boss, and Vincent is not having that. He's not bowing down to that. He's not taking that. He let her know that does not work for him, and I don't blame him, and I don't blame her. She should be able to be who she is. He should be able to be who he is. He doesn't have to just take it. He's a man. She's a woman, and both of them, if they really do love each other the way they say they do, they should make some compromises in their personalities to fit each other into each other's lives. But one thing that I thought was the major red flag is how excited Vincent was to leave her. He didn't kiss her goodbye or anything. He got his stuff. He said, "Nice knowing you," and he was like, "Deuces." And I don't blame her. I mean, she wants to decide how he dresses, where he puts things, when he wakes up. Me personally, I have a feeling that he went home, slept in, made a mess, chilled out, did all the things he can't do with Brie. He can't let his hair down. I mean, he does have a baldy, but figuratively speaking, he can't let his hair down with her. He probably left the way he did so he can go somewhere and let his hair down. I'm just joking. All in all, I do hope these two decide to stay together because they do have a lot of potential. But I do think it's rocky. Either way, whatever the decision is, I hope they leave things off, with a friendship, because these two have the most chemistry out of all the couples in the whole show. So even if they don't stay together as husband and wife, I hope they stay friends. But deep down inside, I hope they stay married. So next we have Haley and Jacob. I never spend much time on them, and I'm not going to start now. But what I will say is that it seems like there is hope. It seems like Jacob is starting to grow on Haley. She's kind of softened up for him. She's being a little bit nicer to him. I don't know if she's being nice because she knows they're at the end and she's happy to have gotten through all of this and ended it all, or if she's being nice because she's actually starting to like him. Because he has been good to her this whole time. He's stuck with her attitude, her mood swings, and he never yelled at her. He's been the nicest guy this whole show. All the other husbands have lashed, well, except for Ryan, he hasn't lashed out, but some of the other husbands have lashed out. They've gotten nasty. Jacob has been nice the whole time and treated Haley like a queen, and dealt with her crap. So I don't know. Part of me hopes that they do decide to split so that Jacob can find his happiness, and not deal with, her not liking him at all and treating him like, he's like she's not attracted to him or something. But then part of me does feel like I hope they stay together, because sometimes couples that start off rocky end the best. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, right? So I am hopeful for this couple, but in the end, whatever they choose, I hope that, they don't leave off hating each other, and I say that about these two in particular because they had some real problems this show, and I would hate to see them end off on a bad note. So next we have Clara and Ryan. These were another one of my favorites this whole season. I've expressed that I really like these two. I think they're really nice for each other. The only thing that I think is a really big deal for them two that could be a deal breaker is him being a Christian and her not being a Christian so much. I can pretty much relate to Ryan in that sense because I'm a Christian. I love God. I love Jesus. And it's very important for me to teach my children about God, and how to pray and things like that. And for me, being with a person that isn't Christian and doesn't love God and doesn't, care to raise their kids to be Christian and follow God, that would be a big deal breaker for me. I couldn't be with someone like that. So putting myself in Ryan's shoes, I can see how that's a big problem for him, because it's not about being religious. Being a Christian is a way of life. That's our way of life. So a person that's not a Christian and a person who's a Christian, me personally, someone else may feel differently, but I personally feel like that's not going to work. And that's just how I see that. But Ryan, Clara was very confident in where, her and Ryan's relationship stood when it comes to decision day. But, Ryan pretty much changed the tune a little bit in this past episode and pretty much let her know, don't be so confident, and, part of me feels like, some of their differences is the reason why he hasn't consummated his marriage to her. And if that's the case, I respect him for that. One thing that angered me about Chris is that he consummated his marriage with Paige knowing he did not want her. I like how Ryan is taking his time and he didn't consummate his marriage being that he has some doubts. So I do like that about his character. I do understand how, Claire is taken back by, him not being very solid in his decision, but I understand exactly where he's coming from. All in all, I don't really know what I hope for these two. But in the end, I do hope that Clara doesn't get hurt because she's been hurt a lot in the past, and I would hate for her to get hurt by Ryan. So last we have Virginia and Eric. I've always liked Virginia a lot, and I still do. And I like the fact that she's found her voice. Eric has pretty much kind of been, in my opinion, nasty with her with all his ultimatums, not liking her dog, not trusting her, pretty much wanting to keep her secluded from everyone and everything that she loves, expressing that to her. This whole season, she would cry and he would pretty much be very cold to her. He's being nice to her now that he's probably thought about the fact that he hasn't been the best husband to her this last 2 months. And if she's smart, she'd run like her life depends on it. So I think that's why he's being nice to her. But hey, I could be wrong. But it's just interesting that now the tables have turned and now he's the one crying and she's the one sitting there like, I don't care, Me personally, I have a very strong feeling that Virginia is going to say no come decision day, but I do believe that she does love him, like she said she does, so because of that, it can go either way with these two. Me personally, Eric gives me like bad vibes, so part of me feels like, I kind of think it would be smart for her to run for it and like find her happiness elsewhere. But it's really tough because in the end, these people are married. They did make vows to each other, so it's really not that simple. So all in all, I do kind of hope that they do make it. I hope that all the couples make it, even Chris and Paige, honestly. I do. But I am excited to see who stays together and who doesn't. And I'm more excited to see how everything ends up with this season more so than other seasons, only because I feel like the experts did a really terrible job pairing people together this season. And part of me feels like there's a possibility that no one stays together this season because I feel like all of the couples are really like not the best matches for each other, honestly. But you know what? I do feel like, sometimes when people seem like they're not compatible, they might actually be the best match for each other. A lot of the best relationships start out rocky and they end nicely. So I don't know. I'm really excited to see how it all ends up. And, I look forward to it. And I guess, I don't know, we'll all be talking about it in 2 weeks, God willing. So that's it for this video. If you haven't already done so, make sure you like this video and share it. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please make sure you do and hit the notification buttons. As I said before, I've had some other ideas swirling, more things to come, certainly more videos to come soon. So I want you to be the first to know about it when they come out so I can keep you entertained. But in the meantime, I hope you have a good night and peace.